Jess, we know so many companies in Australia and around the world support equality in the workforce. It is good for profits, not least for morale. But why is it that the gender pay gap is still an issue?
Yeah, look, people get a bit confused about what we're actually measuring here. We're not saying that if you are a man and a woman doing exactly the same role, you walk into your workplace and you're paid 20% less, although it's probably likely that you are paid a bit less. There's still some, when you actually can get down to that fine level, that's happening. I mean, it would be illegal if that was the case. We have an anti-sex discrimination law for that. But what it is telling us that of everyone who puts on their shoes and goes to work this morning into a full-time job, a woman is going to come home with 20% less. Now, there's reasons for that because when she walks into the firm that she works for, she's probably more likely to be the secretary than the CEO. And the firm that she works into, she's more likely to work for, you know, those more caring industries. So you might be a childcare worker or a social worker. And we know that society as a whole tends to undervalue those industries. So you can sort of explain away some of the reasons for why we have this persistent gap, but then you've still got to ask yourself, why do we value women's work less? You know, and why aren't the women that go to the workforce reaching the very top of the workforce?
Yeah, well, that's the thing, Neil. The amount of women who are at the top of the game in CEO levels and on boards of companies, there is a distinct imbalance there. And that is despite this real effort in Australia, in recent years at least, for companies to actually boost employees, women employees in those senior roles.
Yeah, but it's a very complex thing. And I'm a bit puzzled by some of these figures. No question, same job, same pay. Same job, same ability, same pay. Should happen, no question. But did you see that the highest paid chief executive in the country is a woman? Now, no man can object to that. She gets that because she's worth it, because that's what people are willing to pay her. But Jess, I've also got a question here, which I don't quite get with the figures. 16% of the workforce works part-time. Only 5% of those are male. So if you've got more women working part-time, they're going to be paid less because part-time pays less than full-time. Does that affect the overall figures and say, OK, the gender gap is large, but it's largely influenced or greatly influenced by women working more part-time than men?
Yeah, so it's a good question, but it doesn't actually affect this particular statistic, this sort of 20% figure, because that is comparing full-time workers, full-time men with full-time women. So actually, if you sort of included women who work part-time and bring home even smaller salaries, you know, as a whole, it'd probably be even worse.
Well, yeah, but the part-time thing's relevant, isn't it?
But you would understand that it's for the effort that is being put in, yes.
Yeah, it's an ongoing issue, that is for sure. Let's hope that we make some progress on it.
No quotas, though. Whatever you do, no quotas. I hate quotas.
Well, quotas.
Yeah, I love quotas. Let's have quotas.
Quotas, yes, for Jess, no for Neil.
I'm outnumbered here. I'm outnumbered here. There's 2 to 1.